So I've been asked to try to answer a very difficult set of questions in under 4 minutes. The questions are, what is the fundamental essence of all things? What is the source of this essence? And who is aware of all of this? Those are the three questions. Whenever we ask about the fundamental essence of something, I think, well, we're talking about the unconditioned, the absolute, right? So the essence of things is not itself a thing. The essence of things is the unthinged. If to be a thing is to be in relation to other things, right? And to be conditioned causally by those other things. To be a thing is to have something outside yourself, right? And when we ask about the essence of all things, the fundamental essence of all things, well, we're talking about that which creates things, that which grounds things, but is not itself grounded by things. There are various names for that. You could call it freedom, God, or the absolute. And I think the second question, what is the source of this essence, is, well, what can you say about that? It is its own source. The absolute is its own source. On the other hand, the absolute must contain within itself its own ground, its own possibility of creation, so that, my answer to the first question, what is the fundamental essence, to say that that is God is not to fully determine the nature of God. God must not only be essence but existence, not only possible but actual. And in fact, traditionally, for traditional theology, God is pure act, complete act, and nothing remains in reserve. God is the totality, the totally present being, whose existence is entire. So God is God's own source, and yet, in order to exist, God must be other than itself. God must be self-othering, in other words. So I have a minute left to answer the final question, which is, who is aware of all this? And I would say that the awareness is what takes place between the possibility or the essence of God and the actuality or the existence of God. Who is aware of all this? Namely, you and I, we here, present now, are aware of all of this. But we here, present now, as finite, incarnated beings within the causal nexus of space and time, are also, are both the essence and the existence of God at once. We are the fallen creator. That's really what the human being is, where we exist in this paradox of being present simultaneously in both infinite and finite realms or domains of reality. The infinite isn't really a domain, right? The infinite is the context within which any finite domain might take place. So that's who's aware of all this. So I've tried to unpack a Trinitarian response to a Trinitarian question. I don't know if it made any sense, but I'm not asking you to pay me anything for it, so thanks for listening.